I played college ball at Colorado State University. Started out as one of those short quarterbacks, ran the option, and so they end up moving you to defensive back. You know, you start hitting those linemen in the back of the head. They don't let you play there very long. We had a good guy, Kelly Stauffer, played in the league for a long time. So, you know, my quarterback days were numbered. But I had a good career. Then I signed with the Indianapolis Colts for a little bit. Had a cup of coffee there and got run out of town. And then knew I just wanted to stay in coaching and stay involved in football. I went back and graduate assistant at Colorado State, and I went to TCU as a GA, and I got lucky, and our D coordinator went to Duke University with Coach Spurrier, and that's kind of where my coaching career started. I was outside linebackers and special teams, so I kind of got started at Duke. We had a great run at Duke with Coach Spurrier and won the ACC championship. And I was a young guy. I was living out of a bag with no car, and I thought life was great, making $18,000 as a full-time college football coach. So life was good back before you had kids and got married, and then you had to start making some real money. But went from Duke to VMI, Virginia Military Institute, up there in Lexington with Bill Stewart. And then I went back to Colorado State. I was there for, I think, 12 or 13 years. Then went to Rice University and had a good year down there in 2008, I believe it was, and up to Wyoming. I wanted to be a Cowboy, so that was my first attempt at the Cowboys. I liked it. I liked the Cowboy stuff, so I figured I'd come back. I went back to Colorado State again, so I think altogether I was Colorado State for 20 years or so. You know, it's your alma mater, so everybody's fired up on that. And then I went down to Houston Texans. I wanted to try out the professional football deal with Coach Kubiak. That was a great 2 years. I loved that. And I went to University of Houston, did that, and then Coach Gundy called. I know Coach Spencer. Coach Spencer and I are friends. One of Coach Spencer's best buddies is Ted Roof, and Ted and I are really close from our Duke years. So. Fired up to be in Stillwater. Love the Cowboys, like the small town and college atmosphere. So, I mean, obviously I'm a football fan. I've been in college football for a long time. I know Coach Gundy is well respected. I know obviously Barry Sanders. I watched the Holiday Bowl because I'm from San Diego, so. I watched the Holiday Bowl when they played. Barry Sanders and Coach played down there, and as a matter of fact, I was a ball boy at the Holiday Bowl for years. I would go back because I was a ball boy when I was a kid. When my dad was at San Diego State, so I remember one of my deals, one of the early Holiday Bowls was Lee Corso coaching, I think at Indiana or somewhere, and I was a ball boy, and he was running down the sideline, and his headset got coiled up on my leg and jerked it, almost broke his neck, I think. He came back and started yelling at me. I think I was on national TV getting chewed out by Lee Corso when I was a kid. But so we went to all the Holiday Bowls, and so that's where I, first got kind of initiated at Oklahoma State, and then obviously the great years they've had. Longevity of a head football coach now is hard in college football. So for what Coach Gundy's done here is unbelievable. And once you step and look at these facilities and what Boone's done for us, unbelievable. I mean, there's no, you come here as a coach, you're thinking there's no better place. So you got to think that as a player, I would think, a recruit. So. And I would say this is the first place, definitely this is the first place I've been to that acts like an NFL organization. Everywhere you go, it's first class. The people are smiling, they're happy to be here. Obviously the facilities and the food and the way they treat you, the gear, I mean everything to me is very similar to the Texans. The 2 years I was at the Texans, just facility and first class, all the way around the board. So that's kind of exciting. In college football, I can't imagine that happens at a lot of places. I'm laid back off the field, but on the field, once the adrenaline, I'm one of those guys that once the adrenaline takes over, I think I lose it sometimes, which, I tell the guys, buckle up. I said, don't take anything personal on the field, boys. I'm not a yelling or a screamer. I don't believe in screaming at guys all day long because they just go deaf to you after a while. But if I see something, I'll I'll get after them pretty good. That's why it's a beautiful business. I mean, you get to go out there and lose it for a while and get after it. You get adrenaline. You get your adrenaline pumping, and it's what keeps you young. You know, that's why football is a great game, because we can all kind of still play it through our guys, and so I think early they were kind of surprised at a few of those practices, but it's not all the time. But it's fun. You go out, you have fun, you get after it, you jump around, you celebrate. I mean, it's 2 hours of not office work. You know, I mean, I'm not a big office work guy. I like to get out. You know, you like to recruit because you get to get out and watch football. I like to get out on the field, on the grass. I mean, that's why we got in the business, is to go coach players. Then hopefully you see on tape what you're coaching. Toughness is number one. It's always been number one. That's how I played. I wasn't fast enough or big enough to be one of those guys that made all the fancy, beautiful plays. I was one of those safeties that ran in there and tried to knock the heck out of people. So Coach Gundy preaches it every day in our staff meetings and to the team. If you're not playing physical and trying to out-tough and out-battle and out-hit the other team, I don't care about all the X's and O's. Yeah, there's a million beautiful offenses and fast guys and spreads, and everybody's got their little fancy stuff and cool defenses and blitzes, and it's not about all that. It's about being tougher than the other guys for longer and finishing. That's football. So.